let me see, who was I celled up with at that time in Terre Haute? Oh, well, you know what? Okay, so here's another thing too. How I left Terre Haute was this. The trials were going on with 50 something brand, and they were trying to give all of them death penalties out, right? So they had Barry and all them, Mac and all them on fucking trial. And some shit came down where somebody had fucking popped off that for every one of theirs that gets a convicted, that they're going to cut three cops' heads off or something. I forget the exact numbers that were involved there or anything. So the federal system said, you know what? Anybody involved with these dudes, whenever a verdict's going to come down, we're slamming them. Bam. So I'm in Terre Haute, and then one day they lock us down at lunchtime, and my cell's right by the door, right? And I'm looking out, and I can see the CR teams with the CRT on their fucking jacket, right? They're coming across the yard, and they had secretly, because if anybody knows how Terre Haute is, and most of them USPs are the same, a lot of the newer ones are all the same. You have the units going like this, right? And then over here, you got your trade and all that, whatever you got, hobby and whatnot, right? And then there's a hallway that goes around the outside and connects all the units. And there's the chow hall over here, right? So, and then fenced around the yard. So they were able to empty this fucking unit out through the hallway and lock the fucking yard down. I had no idea that unit had been emptied out. And I was the second individual to get in there. They come with their CR team. They tell me, Harrell, just leave all your shit right there and you're going to come with us. A verdict could come back. And anybody that they felt might act on that threat to cut a head off got locked up. Some officers got caught up that day too. And where they brought us to the unit, they packed all of our stuff in a big duffel bag. You're in the cell. They throw the duffel bag out down in front of your cell. The second one in, and I never got to go back because I went from there. When everybody else got to go back from the yard, they sent me up to the hole and shipped me out of there due to stuff going on with destructive groups throughout the system, right? And that's who I am. Second one to get locked down. Never got let back out until I got shipped, put on Con Air. I went to the hole and celled up with, well, first I wasn't taking no cellies. You're going to lock me down, not tell me why, do all this secret squirrel shit, and think you're just going to feed some fucking secret agent into the cell on me? Not going to happen. So I told them, no, fuck you guys and all that. And they just said, all right, well, fuck it. You don't have to have celly. Okay, whatever. Unless I know who the fuck's coming in here, you ain't putting nobody in here. I'm going to feed them back to you. And one day they come and they said, hey, your comrade in the day room wants to know, are you going to make him sleep? Because, I'm going to tell you, getting a bunk in the hole, that's prime real estate. You didn't just get to go to the hole. You had to go through a process usually. You go from there, you go from the yard, you go to R&R, sleep in a cell right there in R&D in the holding cell, go from there to maybe a telephone booth in the visiting, go from there up to a day room in Ad Seg in a shoe, and then from there you may or may not get a cell. So Richie Rich had come in there and he had went to the day room, right? And he sent that lieutenant down. Lieutenant said, hey, your comrade wants to know, are you going to make him he come down, he goes, you gonna take a celly? Hurrah. Told him I already told you fucking punks. No. Suit up. We ain't suiting up, just your comrade wants to know. Oh, what comrade is that? It's Richie Rich. Richie Leverage. I said, no, I ain't gonna make him shit in the bag, bring him on down. So I left there from being cellies with him, and we laid in there for a little while and kicked it, and it was all good because I knew he wasn't coming in with microphones and shit, right? And
Was this time in the hole, right, where the feds were putting like five, six people to a cell?
no, they were. I mean, sometimes they'd put a bunch in a cell, but they had reached a point where dudes were in day rooms and all that waiting to get a cell. And Terre Haute was a pretty good, different kind of animal. I mean, I've seen that lieutenant, man. He's a beast. He'd come in there. One day he comes in, he tells the dude across from me, man, hey, let me get that razor. Dude said no. He said, okay. Walked right away, came back with the shotgun, threw the fucking tray slot open and busted that dude with a beanbag right in the fucking chest. and shut the tray slot and walked away. Just got in there, shot him, and walked away. I'm like, what the fuck? What part of the game is that? Negotiations, no, nothing like that. Just come shoot him and walk away. He still didn't get the fucking racer. But Terre Haute was a kind of a weird trip. But I mean, and sounds weird to say you had a good time, right? But I will tell you this. I The time wasn't as bad as it could have been. I mean, could have been fucked up with the police on you all the time and everything. And I think I had went from there to Hazelton. And I got to Hazelton. They were going to lock me down. They put me in the hole. And I'm there and I'm next to a dude that's he's part of one of them the Maine Mexican tips. And he's next door to me. And they're not giving us radios. No radios. Right. And I'm like, fuck, this is Hazelton. How long the radio's been gone? I ask him, right? No. He tells me, yeah, running for a couple of years, man. I tell him, oh, hell no. I tell him, look, man, I'll get the whites. If you get the Mexicans, he goes, yeah. He goes, and I can talk to the black dude down the way that's got everybody's here. So we all agreed that, you know what, we're going to go ahead and get gassed and all this shit. I wasn't there one day and I already had everybody boarded up on their fucking doors and shit, right? And I hear them coming down the way. Boom, you gonna cuff up? No, they got the video. You popping the canisters, throwing it in the cells, rushing in there, gaffling people up, you know, and usually one canister were all they were getting. Got to my cell, this motherfucker hit me with a can. The camera, let the record reflect, Mr. Harrell ain't suiting up, he ain't cuffing up. Pops another can, throws it in there. That second can knocked the snot right out of my fucking face. Bam! I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm boarded up the best I can, right? But they done got through it through them canisters, right? Mr. Harrell, you gonna cuff up? I tell him, cuff your mother up, punk. Blam! Another fucking canister. And I ate 4 cans of that fucking shit. And I had their cuffs that were throwing in. They take me downstairs, they cuff me up again, they take me downstairs, they put me out on the yard, and I am just soaked, man. And I picked their fucking cuffs. I got them, bam. And cop tells me, give me the cuffs, Harrell. I tell him, nah, I'm gonna keep them. Captain comes down there and tells me, Harrell, you gonna give us the cuffs, man? I said, nope. He tells the cop, go get the gas. I tell him, here, motherfucker. You fucking have these goddamn cuffs, man. I'm had enough of that fucking gas. He goes, so what's the deal, man? I said, come on, man. You kept them fucking radios from us for 2 years. He goes, we only did what you let us. He goes, look, man. He goes, we can't just run over there and get everybody's radio and give them back. It sends the wrong message. But if you can give me your word that you guys are going to be cool, the next day or two, we'll give you radios and batteries and everything back. So you got my word for all that's worth, but it carried a little weight. I set that whole thing off. They knew it. And we got our radios back a couple of days later, and that means a lot when you're sitting in a cell all the time, slammed down, them talk shows and shit on the radio, them football games on the weekends. You get a little program set up where you're reading, you're studying, and you're listening to these talk shows and you're listening to them football games and baseball games and sports channels and all of that, and you're following all of that and you're playing your football tickets and stuff, and they take that radio away, man. They're taking a big part of your program because that's all you got in the feds right there. And yeah, so that went down there. Yeah, I made my rounds, man, because I mean the feds will switch a yard in a minute. The captain comes and he decides that he likes working better with a certain kind of tip or whatnot. He'll take one tip off the yard and bring another tip in, put them on the yard, right? He can do that shit in the middle of the night. You go to sleep one night, and the yard belonged to the Northerners. Wake up the next morning, you got a yard full of Southerners. They'll flip that motherfucker in the middle of the night. The feds are strange in comparison to the state, right? Only a few times have I've ever seen them pull a bus up on the yard in the state. Feds, they'll pull it up, put you on the plane, ship you out of there. I mean, and it's a different thing too, because the feds, while I was in the hole in Hazelton, the the dudes on the yard there, when Washington came down, the DC fucking politicians came down for the Bureau of Prisons. They took them hostage in the chow hall. So in they come and they're telling us, pack your shit, pack your shit, pack your shit, pack your shit. What's going on? You guys are all going to Maine. So I go to Cumberland, Maine from there because they got to clear the hole out for these dudes. They're getting ready to gaffle up and bring them from there to there that took these hostages. Off we go on buses to fucking Maine. I get to Maine. Cumberland, Maine. I'm starting to feel some kind of way about all this bullshit. So I take the tray slot thinking, okay, they're going to have to suit up and come do a cell extraction. I'm getting ready to fight with these motherfuckers and it's on. And they tell me, yeah, you can have that fucking tray slot. I didn't give a fuck in Cumberland, Maine. And so, and we're up in the fucking middle of the mountains. So I'm sleeping with my feet out the tray slot so they can't get it back, right? And put the mattress up against it. And I've got this tray slot jacked. And they come and tell me, hey, well, you're getting on a bus, man. You can catch a plane. I tell them, yeah, you're fucking lying. You just want this tray slot back. And they go, we don't care about the fucking tray slot, but you are on the bus. I got your word. Yeah, you got my word, man. Bam. I was on the bus. So I went in there. I'm the only one there getting black boxed, and them fucking things hurt, right? So we get on the bus. They put us on the fucking plane. The plane gets up in the air, and the doors bust open. My eyes feel like they're gonna pop out of my fucking head, man. It's just fuck, man. And it was a painful son of a bitch. They had to turn around. They land us back on the fucking airport. We got Homeland Security surrounding the motherfucker, U.S. Marshals. They bring me back to Maine, and I tell the bus driver, look, man, don't skip over me to be taking these cuffs off your little fucking homies and partners and shit from the prison. Because this fucking box is cutting into my fucking hands and it hurts. And if you don't take it off when we get there, you start doing them, I'll take it off. Yeah, you do what you got to do. So we get in the fucking tank and there's always little fucking poo butts around me. And I need one of them to help me get this one fucking little piece in this fucking area to slip these cuffs. Oh, I don't believe in none of that fucking MacGyver shit. So fuck it. I have to work that myself. I get it in there. I get that off. I get the next one off. I pull this fucking box off, the chain off my fucking legs. Bam. And he comes, open the door, and he goes, well, I guess you're next. So, yeah, I guess I am, huh? And back to the hole I went. You just, I know it all seems childish, and it seems childish to me looking back on it. You know what I mean? But when there's nothing else to do, you fight. It's the way you pass your time.
So let's have different politics, right? And you were on a veteran thing, right?
Yeah.
In California?
Yep.
God forbid something happens. You go back to the feds. You can walk a USP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so you got them four spots, them four 180s in California, all right? There's riders on them yards. You know, the vans are butts about it, right? The brand's just no longer pulling from them dudes. They're not and the ride is just back to where they were before the brand sanctioned them as their arm, their muscle. But in the feds, you take those same dudes and you put them in the feds. Ain't nobody carrying their water. Now they got to stand on their own 2 feet. They don't have the weight of the whole system behind them. In fact, in the feds, it's the whole system that's against them. And it was the ride that stepped up a few times to help those dudes. And from what I understand, they didn't appreciate it. So it doesn't happen anymore. Okay. Um, that's as far as I'm going to say about it. It's a different get down, and the ride is deep in the feds, very deep, and they're rolling hard. And they're recruiting. And there's a whole bunch of other tips that are rolling hard and recruiting. But NLR has always been its own animal, man. It's always been a separate kind of thing, right? Um, they recruited the way they wanted to recruit. It's just the ride is the ride, man. There ain't never gonna be nothing like it, you know? It's a different thing. And boy, I feel nobody outside the ride is gonna come and dictate politics to the ride. The minute you start allowing that to happen, you cease to be a tip. So that started a lot of friction with the NLR, got them fighting each other and shit. But then you get these Johnny come latelys, right? Dubs talking fucking crap that he don't know, you know? But then again, I seen after, fuck them dudes. I'm done with them dudes, man. They they've made their own bed now and they're gonna have to sleep in it, man. Yeah, all Dubs can do is hope Gunner don't pee the bed. It's basically about that, right? You don't want to get pissed on. I'm sure they're sleeping together. In any event, fuck them dudes. So I'm gonna get some interviews coming too because I don't want to sit here and just have story time with Ron every night and this, that, and the other thing. We'll get some other dudes on here with some story time, and then also I want to get to having some interviews with some cats that are involved in my programs and stuff in a positive way. You know what I mean? That are doing things positive because I am building some things up positive. You know, I mean, I tell these stories, no trust and believe that this stuff's all behind me. All right. That's not who I am and what I'm doing anymore. Right now, I'm making amends with society. And if you're part of society, I'm making amends with you. That's what I'm doing. I'm giving back altruism, right? I'm not giving back just because I'm out here not taking from society. I'm literally giving back, and it feels fucking good. And I like getting on here with story time with Ron. And I will get on here and just and there's I got a wealth of them because I did so much time, a part of the fucking politics, a part of the whole fucking get down that it doesn't end. I didn't just cut one dude with a razor like smokestack did, right? Some of my shit was numbered and real and storied and a lot of things. And I've been there to see a lot of things take place, participated in a lot of things.